So what's up everybody, it's Daddy Blazer, not literally but literally. Sadly my son's not here today, so y'all gonna miss all his cuteness. Can't do nothing about that. Today's movie is Joker. So I'm pretty late on watching the movie, so movie review's coming out kind of late, sorry about that. But I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of my favorite movies this year because that movie was amazing. I was very like impressed with it. So I see why people gave it a lot of backlash, and I felt like people were trying to compare it to Heath Ledger and the other Jokers too much, and they were trying to compare it too much to the comic, but this movie attacked a lot of different problems, I want to say. It addressed a lot though. It really took on a tone that was very dark. This movie is Joker's origin story pretty much. It explains how Joker became Joker. Joker has a couple different backstories, but this one was a little more original, I want to say. This one's a little different because you literally go through the motions with him. You kind of see why he snaps, especially towards the end. Like the ending was, I love the ending. The ending was definitely made the movie. The last like 20 minutes was phenomenal. Joaquin Phoenix, however you say his name, he needs to get an award for that. Like that movie was the shit. There's only two other people that I think played Joker amazing, and it's the dude from Gotham. He played Jerome Valeska, and of course Heath Ledger. Those two, phenomenal. This take on Joker was definitely something different, and it was very well done. Very well done. Back to his origin story. He pretty much was living with his mom. You find out that he has a mental problem, like he had a brain injury. It's just little things that add up and, you know, hurting who he is on the inside. And it translates to what he becomes later. So from the outside looking in, from a normal viewer, it kind of just seems like it drags on to what is supposed to happen. For comic viewers, it kind of is like, all right, but there's also this origin story. Well, they did this in the other Batman movie. Well, they did this and this. And it's not like that. Because this movie really addressed a lot of different things. Like if you notice from the beginning of the movie, it's also in the trailer, so I'm not really spoiling this. He's getting jumped. Like, who raised these kids? Like what? 4 or 5 kids stole his sign while he's just out there doing his job, run away. They wait for him and they foul, like, and then they start kicking him. They're like, harder, hit him harder. I was like, I wish a nigga would. Like, come on, cuz. After that, I was like, damn, that couldn't be me. That could not be me. And then that's where it starts to hit. It hits home because some people go through that. Like, some people really do struggle with things like that. So I was like, dang, that is definitely from a different perspective. And then, you know, he's in therapy. And just down to the slightest detail, you see his legs shaking, and throughout the whole movie, he's smoking a cigarette. So it just shows how much he tries to keep his cool throughout the movie, and everyone has their breaking point. I think that was like one of the biggest things this movie was trying to show you. Everyone has a breaking point. While he was in therapy or talking to his psychiatrist or whatever she was, he's smoking his cigarette and everything, and then you see his leg like bouncing up and down, and his leg's like bouncing, and then he goes like this to stop his bouncing. He tries to keep himself calm and keep himself cool and collected. That's like a small detail, but I thought it was important because people really do that. They have to do small things like that, like control their breathing, smoke cigarettes sometimes. A lot of people resort to smoking weed, drinking, just to, you know, feel like they can handle whatever they have to handle. I ain't gonna lie though, one thing that, you know, caught me off guard was some big ass rats. Them things were fucking huge. And what's crazy is I barely missed the first one because my brother like, did you see that? And I thought I did, and I just saw this big ass thing just go across the screen. I thought they were kidding when they said they have big rats running around. Sorry about that, my dad just brought home some food, so you know what that means. So there is a bigger picture to that movie than, you know, just the Joker. I feel like it depicts everyday life for a lot of people. How, you know, everyone puts a mask on and they pretty much have to live a separate life because Like, did you not see what he had to go through? Like, it was honestly, it's like, it sucked. It hurt watching that. Like, to see the pain he was going through was really, really bad. The stuff he was going through, I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine. And different situations, different people, they can definitely handle things compared to others a lot differently, but him, not so much. Every time he was doing this little dance thing he was doing throughout the movie, I felt like that was his way of expressing himself, because he had a laughing disorder, so anytime he was laughing, it wasn't because he wanted to. But I felt like the only time he really laughed was when he did his high-pitched Joker laugh. Yeah, whenever he was dancing, I felt like that was the best way he could express himself, because every single time he was happy, he danced. And that was like the only real emotion he knew how to show. Because truthfully, throughout that movie, he was honestly very innocent. He was taken advantage of by a lot of people. And I love what they did with the truth behind his mom, because we really don't know. Because in Gotham, he had this Jerome Valeska, or his brother, whatever his name was. He had this huge obsession with Bruce, and he wanted to be his best friend. Like, he wanted to be his other half or something like that, and he was just obsessed. He could not let Bruce live. He couldn't let him do nothing with his life. So I like how you can see how that set it up. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but when you watch the movie, you'll see why they have a connection, or the possibility of a connection. Heath Ledger's Joker, if you remember correctly, he switched up his story a few times on his background, so you never really know what really happened. So I felt like those two things kind of tied in with this Joker, because he technically has two different stories. It's like, I don't want to spoil it, but it's like he's either, that person that the letter said he is, or he's not. You feel me? So does he believe his mom, or does he believe Thomas Wayne? And that part right there, it was so aggravating that it made it great. I was sitting there really thinking like, so is it true or is it not? But anyway, I felt like throughout the movie, things were just, adding up, just stacking up for him, and you could literally see the strings being cut. So he was getting to his 100%, and I was sitting there like, oh man, is it gonna be now? Like, what's he gonna do next? Like, I was getting nervous, and I love that. The way he gets his swag towards the end, it was phenomenal, because he just didn't care. Just did not care whatsoever. And, he's walking, dancing, and everything down the street. As soon as the cops see him, take off. So the girl that was in there, the girl that he liked or whatever, I felt like that was his conscience. I felt like she was an enabler. Like that first scene, how she was like, and he did it back. I felt like that was kind of, I don't know, I got a weird vibe from it. So throughout the movie, once you see like how she's supporting him, it's like, okay, now it makes sense. Yeah, she was his conscience. I felt like that's what she was. Because it was like, why is she, out of everyone, so okay with how he is? There has to be something behind it. I thought she was crazy too. I thought she was from Arkham or something, but no, I really feel like she was his conscience, and what happens after that was pretty good. It caught me off guard for a quick second, but when the scene came and he was in her room, I was like, oh, okay, makes sense. Alright, so I have to finish this video because yesterday I got caught up doing stuff. My camera had died. So sorry for that. That's why I'm in a different spot. Is there anything I would change about Joker? No. I thought the movie was very, very good. I thought damn near everything about it was good. Anything I disliked about the movie? Honestly, no. I think everything they touched on was very, it was very personal. A lot of the stuff they talked about was very personal. I felt like it hit home for a lot of people, and that's why the movie is considered very dark. Truthfully, it's not for the soft and faint of heart, because some people really do struggle with mental illnesses, and a lot of people don't know the toll it takes on one person, and the toll it takes on people around that person. So this movie was kind of eye-opening, and a lot of people don't like to feel uncomfortable, and that's what this movie did. It made people uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable. I thought that's great. If you can make me feel something like that, then kudos to you, bro. That's 1, great fucking acting, and 2, great directing, 3, great movie, 4, great everything. Just the smallest little details of how he moved his body, what he did when he was sad or angry, when he was nervous, all those like small nitty-gritty details made the movie what it was. And what it was an eye-opener. What it was very uncomfortable. What it was a good movie. The acting was phenomenal. Like, if he doesn't get an award for that movie, I don't know what we're doing. He definitely deserves it. He's no Heath Ledger, so Please don't go into the movie thinking, oh, well, I hope he's like this. He's no Jerome Valeska, so if you've seen Gotham, don't compare him to that. This movie is more than just an origin story. It is an actual movie. It has its own vibe, it has its own feel, and it has its own essence. It's an actual movie. It goes way deeper than just a Joker. So when you guys go into the movie theaters for those comic fans, I hope you go in with that mindset, because it'll make the movie a lot more enjoyable. A lot more. Just me liking movies off rip, you know, I didn't go in the mindset with, oh, I'm expecting Joker to do this. Nah, you have to understand that this is a completely different take on him. Mental illness does exist, and you know, I feel like that's something we need to talk more about. You know, it's attacking society. He really put it out there that he can't be himself because, one, nobody listened. Like when you watch the movie, you'll see like nobody listened to him. Two, life was kicking his ass. And three, it's like, how do you explain something that you can't explain for yourself? And a lot of times that's what happens to a lot of people. That part right there hit home, because I feel like everyone has to wear a mask. And, you know, off rip, his name is already Joker. And he was a clown, and what do clowns do? They wear a mask, or they paint their face, you know, they change their persona. They try to do what a lot of people do as a defense mechanism to make themselves feel better. They try to make people laugh. And that's all he was trying to do. So, yeah, because he wanted to be a comedian. That's what I mean. That's all he wanted to do. All the killing, nah, I don't support it, but you know, it is what it is. I think for people that are struggling and, you know, have these illnesses or, you know, disabilities, whatever it may be, whatever you want to call it, you know, when you watch this movie, you know, just be prepared for it. Like, it might be very relatable to some people. It really might be. And that's the thing that's scary, because the reason people got uncomfortable is probably because it was relatable. Probably because, you know, they threw it in your face. Like, they said, this is how some people might really feel. He had went to Arkham. He said, what does it take to get in here? Do you have to kill someone or what? He was like, yeah, sometimes. Some people don't necessarily have a place to go. Some people are actually just mentally sick. And some people just are harm to themselves or other people. It just goes to show that, you know, mental illness isn't always the issue. It's, you know, the process of what happens, how something is happening, and, you know, the circumstances of not only your decision and other people's decisions. So I really feel like that movie had a deeper message than just Joker. And if you really take your time to watch the movie and, you know, see all the details that I saw, you'll definitely understand where I'm coming from. Everyone does come from somewhere, and, you know, the ending, so good. There's a smile involved, and that really good. But yeah, I would say go see it. Honestly, I would see the movie again. Overall rating, I'd give it a strong 8.5, 9. It's not really a movie you go see on a date, just saying. There is no post-credit scene, by the way. And would you go see it with friends? I mean, yeah, but you kind of have to be a little more mature mentally to like really grasp it and understand it. But it's not a movie for kids, I know that. It gets you thinking, and I like movies like that. So if you like and enjoy movies like that, please, by all means, go watch it. Let me know what you think about it. And yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up my review. So if you have any suggestions on how these videos should go, please let me know, because I'm kind of going back and forth with how I did this review and how I'm doing the next review to how I did the movie review for it. This movie was a little more serious, so it can't be as, you know, laxed and as funny. And also, my beautiful ass son isn't here, so that hurts a lot. But anyways, hope you guys have a great day. It's been M.A.G TV, and that's the review for Joker.